So hey, what's up guys, NPS3D here and welcome back a new Element 3D tutorial. And in this tutorial we are going to create a sci-fi planet just like this one. We are going to recreate this one. So this concept is inspired by Video Copilot work and this is cool. And the cool thing about this is very simple and easy. So let's get started. So we need some stock footage. So I use Excel Essence Star from Video Copilot and some stock web, one more here, and Optical Flare. And my home is almost near the public road, so here is too much noise. So just ignore that noise. So just copy all this and put in a new folder. Fine. And if we go here, let me show you. If you go inside the pre-comp, so you can see here is my compositing for this particular shot. Alright, so let's create a one more time. So 9020 by 567 1080 is good. And if you're going to make a animation, make sure your frame rate depend on your choice, 24 5 or 30, and duration according to your choice. But this time I'm not going to make an animation, so just take whatever frame and duration. Fine. So let's create a new solid, call this element 3D. Go inside the effect and control and just press control space. I am using FX console. It's 100% free from Video Copilot. So just search element 3D or just here press 1 or just click here element. Fine. So one more thing, I am using a first let's create this. So go inside the scene setup. Oh, go inside the layer solid setting, make sure comp size. Fine. Hit OK. Go inside the scene setup and let's create a sphere. And this is our sci-fi planet. So here is you can see this is not enough segment to smooth this sphere. So we will just increase maybe 24 or 5 or 24 or 5 is good. Make sure you check the optimize mesh option to just down the vertices and it will be little bit fast. Fine. So now the next step is adding a material. So I am using pro shaders. So if you go pro shaders 2 and concrete, here is a concrete scrap, I think scrap. So put down this material here. So now it's not looking good, but let's adjust this. So first just uncheck this draft textures. Fine. So here you can see the detailing, and if you just select your sphere model and go inside the UV mapping and just choose sphere. Fine. Good. Step. Now the next step is select our material. Select your model, go again inside UV mapping and just tile this, repeat tile. So maybe in my final one I use 12 by almost 5, a little bit down, just like this one. You can also increase this one depending on your choice. So almost 7 is good. Fine. So you can see this is not a reflecting material. Fine. So what we do, just select our material and here is some texture setting. So diffuse is okay. Fine. And glossiness you can just down 45. So now it's the reflecting material, you can see. And here is a reflectivity, so we'll also put down maybe 85. Fine. And the bump is good looking, so you can also change the diffuse color depend on your choice. If you want to make a red, yellow, green, just like also just like this, but I'm just going to put black because we are going to make a black planet. Alright, so and here is a glossiness. You can also increase and decrease it. So this time I'm going to put 90, and we can also increase or decrease it later. So maybe 96 is more sharp, fine. And there is a specular. So you can also increase or decrease it if you want to make a very highlight part in your scene, just like this one. So maybe put down 200, and we can also increase or decrease it later. So this is now good. And one more step is reflectivity. So we can also increase or decrease it. So in this time I'm going to put 25, and material is black, good, fine. So all good. Now it's time to add our sci-fi texture. So what I did, just hit OK, fine. So let's just create a new camera. 30 in original example I use 55, I mean 50 millimeter. So this time I'm going to use 35, and now I'm just using a texture of clouds. So I will, yeah, here. So you can see this is cloud, fine. So let's see this one, and also this one. So hide this one and go inside the Element 3D custom layer, custom texture map, and we will choose our cloud, fine. And also create a new null object. Make sure this is 3D. Parent camera to the null. It's not important in this time, but I'm just creating this one if we need in our upcoming few steps. So this position is good. Now the go inside the scene setup, and here we will just change the environment. I'm using black box environment. So backlight 2K, and in this one I use black backlight 2K 25 texture number. Right? So almost this is good. So if you enable the environment, you can see. You can also choose this one, looking good. Alright, so let's choose this one. Fine. So if you go inside the environment, here you can also invert this one and make some changes apart, depend on your choice. You can see, and you can also turn down the saturation if you want. So let's choose this one. Go inside the environment and just turn down the saturation a little bit, contrast and brightness. All good. Hit OK. And now the next step is, let's duplicate this one model and go inside the transform setting and just scale this little bit. So the originals, I mean control Z. So if we hide this one, so you can see the original scale amount is 100%. So now we'll use 100.5%. So it's just a little bit big. And here we'll just duplicate the material, or just double click or create a new material and just drop it here and just reset this, fine. 100.5. So this one is called this cloud, fine. And select the material and go inside the diffuse texture, and we will choose our cloud texture. So not looking good. So go inside the cloud, I mean just click the object and go inside the UV mapping and just put 1 by 1. Now you can see something happening here, fine. So the now next step is select our material and go, just also enable this one, select our this material and go into advanced properties, and here is a blend mode, so we'll just choose screen. So now you can see the other material is also showing and the below material is also showing. So this is just like not looking good. So it let me fix it. So select the material and go inside the glossiness and put down to 0. Fine. So see, little bit good. And you can also just play with some setting. So let's see, increase the diffuse. Alright, so where I am, so just turn down the environment little bit, and the glossiness turn down 0%. Alright, so almost good, you can see. So here we mm, put this one is group 2, so we can adjust some setting. We can also put this in group 1 and make a different auxiliary animation for this one. So but I'm not going to do it. I'm just put down just in a new group because I have a lot of more space. Alright, so select our material and go inside, and let's check if we just put add little bit bright. Alright, so good. And we can also, for bright, you can also increase this one. So press 2 this time. You can also adjust it later. Hit OK. So now you can see our space, I mean our sci-fi material is almost ready. Need more compositing and some settings. So the next step is go inside the group 2, particle look and particle replicate a rotation, and rotate this one. You can see this is rotating. Alright, so almost good. Alright, so almost good looking, and now you can see some depth. So this is a one material and this is another. So just like looking, it has been depth. My English is not good as my English is not good, so I cannot explain well. But you can see here the difference. This is a flat planet, and this with some volume. All right, so this is good. Now the next part is creating a busy. So this is our background, the star background. So if we just scale this, and if we apply a tint effect, so it will remove the this greenish type. All right, so this is good, almost good, fine. And we can also import some small atmosphere. So first import atmosphere 6 here, scale this. Alright, so now let's add a tint effect, or you can also add a gradient ramp, but tint is good. So let's change the color. Maybe this is here, so we'll just put a color blue, almost blue. Fine. Let's check this one. Atmosphere 3. So 5. This time I'm going to use 5. Scale this almost just like this. Drag this little bit up so it will be just like this. Good. And let's also add a tint effect and make them little bit red. Just a little bit red. Fine. Add one material more. Just top up this one. Scale this. put down in front of this. So white is almost good. So let's hit OK, and we will also do changes in later. So let's add a light, call this ambient light, and put down 100% and make sure this is a white, almost white, half resolution, and preview me. Fine. So now here is a little bit problem with the direction of our light. So the red is up and the blue is in down. So not a big deal. We can also do work just like this, but I am not happy with this. So just go inside the physical environment and so in background so we can see this. And now let's rotate this just like Z, so you can see the thing is good. Changing. Alright, so this look is good. Now let's hide this one. Rotate the environment a little bit more. Now it's good. Now let's add once again light, new light, and the ambient light will just 45, maybe 90, 100. Fine, 100 is good. Make sure this is pure white. And let's add a spotlight, light spotlight, and the color is red. It is intensity 200%. Parallel light, active view. So this is our camera angle, and the light is projecting just like this. But we want the light is just hitting this area. So let's adjust this. And if we change the color a little bit, desaturated, just like this. So now if you go inside the active camera, so alright, so now we are in good position. You can see little bit just like this area. Fine. So now we are in good position. Make this red, and we can also increase this little bit just like this. Fine. And now let's call this red light and duplicate this one and just put it is Z and make this blue. But this is too bright, so go inside the custom view and just like this. So now this is looking good. Now we will add a new solid called this circle, and this is our blue circle, and add a circle effect and put down this circle almost here. Let's go inside the feather and increase the feather amount and make the color just like blue. Control D and put down here and make this is red. Now we are getting to the point. One more time, Control D, and this time it will be glow planet, and we'll just reset this and put this one just below our Alma 3D layer. So if we go here, just below our Alma 3D layer, and let's increase the feather amount. So you can see here, and you can also increase the radius. So this one, fine. Now let's add a shock wave just behind our Alma 3D layer and also behind our glow planet. So here, almost here. Now let's do just like this. F4 and make this in screen, so we can also see other elements, and we can also add a fast blur. I just put one, fine. So we can also go inside the scene setup. The material is here, so let's increase the specularity a little bit more, and let's see. You can see this one, the light is hitting here and this light is hitting here. So down this little bit more, so almost 500 is good. And let's fix this. I mean, I want just like here. So custom view, and this is our red light. All right, good. Active camera. So now this is looking good, almost good. So let's add one more time. Scale this and just flip horizontally. Let's do transform vertical. We just cover the whole area. Back to screen and just tint this too. You can also add a gradient. Add a gradient range. So our black part is here and our white part is here. Fine. So in the black part we'll choose the red amount of, and the white part will choose the blue amount. If you unsolo, you can see this is matching correctly. Let's see any other. Just like this smoke, just top of this layer. Scale this. Let's take let's select our glow planet and just control D and just down the radius and put down just like here. It's little bit bright blue, and almost everything is good. Just like I also did the same and just play little bit more time to. So all right, everything is good. So if we see our this one, so I'll immediately go inside the scene setup and a little bit down the, so 400. Fine. So let's go in the render setting, and no, there are nothing to change. So one thing you can change to exposure the all things. So point maybe 6, maybe 1 is good. 1 is good. So and the shock web element here. Let's add a curve effect to little bit. Just see correctly. Fine. So let's select all of this and just pre-compose. And now we will just do some color correction. Fine. So for this edit mode, so let's add a new solid. Oh yeah. And just add an optical flare. Select option, go inside this optical flares in setup and just unclear all of this. Select this one and also this one, and we are going to add just like this. So just turn down the scale just like this, hit OK, and just this to add, and make this almost here, and duplicate to one more copy and just put down to here. So both are good. Now select all of this. I already composited just like this one. So I think this is a little bit. So we need, so Let's drag the atmosphere 6 just like here and scale this, and let's add a ellipse to let's create a mask and feather this, and just turn the opacity 45%. So good looking. And now let's add a adjustment layer and just type colorista. It's not important, but I am using this one. So you can do a lot things from here, just like increase the temperature 12%. And you can also tint it here, just like maybe I just put 6. And we don't need exposure, and the saturation you can also desaturate this one, so minus 12%, or you can increase this one. So in this case 5, I mean 12. Let's go with minus 6, and highlight 12%, little bit boost these lights, and shadow we can let's go in minus 25, and the pop up pop 12%, and the vignette 35, almost 20. New adjustment layer, add a curve effect. So do just like this, red channel little bit, and we don't need green channel. So let's add one more adjustment layer, and this time add hue and saturation. So we'll just desaturate this, and let's add a new solid slide, and go on second layer and solid 30, and just 789, just tension alpha. So this is almost good. So this is the idea. If we just do one more step for final rendering to full render, and here you can also use full, and here is some one, and here you can also play individual, so you can also increase diffuse specular without going inside the scene setup and all these things, but I'm happy with this result. So let's back here, and let's switch to full, and let's add one more adjustment layer, and this time we will add a grain, but first let's add grain. So here we change some setting, just like softness 0.3 and size 0.2 and the intensity 0.3, and let's to final output, and we can also add a unsharp mask. So now you can see we are getting a much good result here, a sci-fi planet. So this is good, and I hope you like the tutorial, and this is my idea how I created and composite all this shot. but you can also use some different method, different things, and do some other thing. So all good, and thanks for watching, and thanks for loving me. I'm NPS3D, and keep watching, and keep subscribe, like, comments, and share, please, and help me to grow up fast. So thank you so much. And if you have any question, just put down in comment box, or just leave me a message on my FB page, or just send me a mail. I am ready to help you, just like Far Cry 4. I am ready to help you, my friend. So thank you so much.